Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Figuarts Gintama GINTOKI. I know a lot of you guys have wanted a figure like this for a long time. I feel like I reviewed, was it Variable Action Heroes? I feel like I reviewed this guy a long time ago. Maybe I didn't. I don't remember now. I've never been like a real big Gintama fan, so I don't know like if I did or not. It didn't stick in my memory. Either way, this is the Figuarts version. They're apparently hitting every anime, every manga they can possibly hit. Most of them have been at best, but some of them have been great, so maybe this guy's one of those. I will say thanks to Big Bad Toy Store for providing this as a review sample. Of course, they don't tell me what to say, and I wouldn't do that if they did, so you're going to get an honest review, but I did get it as a review sample. I have to tell you that because I'm supposed to. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we look at the figure, I do want to show you my package. I think it's a very nice package, though somewhat simple and plain. It seems appropriate for the character, and it looks pretty nice. There is one key thing we need to look at on here. It's very important. Is it on the side also? No, that's a different saying. Okay, that's their Figuarts saying. There's another saying back here, which we have to talk about. I just have to do this, because Bandai's been rubbing me the wrong way lately. And I know what you're thinking, take any rubbing you can get. In some ways you're right, but we're paying for these. Alright, so it says, dynamic articulation enables recreation, if I can speak English, of iconic action sequences from the anime. Dynamic articulation. Yet, like you can tell by the photos right here, it doesn't pose. Every pose they have is him standing, or him standing with his knees sticking out. That's it. So, it's like, really pay attention to the solicitation photos that they have, guys. The promo photos, whatever you want to call them. Pay attention when companies show you what they're going to sell you, because that's usually what you're going to get. So decent packaging, but this guy is not going to be in super dynamic poses, I'll tell you that right now. He stands just about 6 inches, not counting like a couple of the hair floofs. That's going to put him at just about 15.5 centimeters. That's going to make him just about shorter than Darwin, but probably you could fit him in to 1/12 scale. And let's go ahead and get into it. Let's do a question of the day. Did you want this guy? And by the end of this review, is it good enough? Personally, I don't care if they make this character. I never got into it. Maybe it's a great show. I don't know. But I think it is probably going to be a good enough figure by the time we're done. But we will see. Let's start with the aesthetic. I have to note, the very first thing I noticed on this guy was the hair. It looks really nice. The shading that they managed to achieve is really, really good. That almost white to slightly bluish grayish white, very subtle, very well done. The paint job for the red is definitely clean enough. It's not anything special, but it's there, it's okay. But then the swirlies also are done really, really nicely. Not absolutely perfectly, but yeah, pretty darn nice. Alright, so generally it looks good. It's a nice matte finish other than where the boots are shiny, so that's good. You get the metallic strap, buckle, whatever you want to call that. Skin tone's decent. Yeah, it's a pretty good looking figure. Now here's the thing. It's also kind of nice. This is a different finish than this. This is more matte. This is a little more satin. Here's the problem I have with this. One more thing. That looks really nice. The detailing on there is good, but putting that in there, it only goes in one way. This is hard plastic right here, and it rubs against this the whole time. So come on, Bandai. Now here's the problem that I was trying to get to a few times before I interrupted myself. It's expensive. It's one of the expensive figures. And so Bandai needs to really make it a good one in order for it to be even close to what it costs. I think it's 85 bucks on Big Bad Toy Store, something like that. So that's like a whole lot of money. And now, I know what a lot of people have been saying lately is, when you're getting this for 25 or 27, how can you justify anything else? Well, I can't really, technically, but I've been saying that all along, that everything's too expensive and not good enough. But it is the way things cost, and so I can't just say everything's terrible because it's expensive. That doesn't do anybody any good. I still have to review the figure as if it's a reasonable price, and then add the note that, yes, it does cost too much, though. That kind of thing. I hope that makes sense, because if everything just was a great value, then that'd be awesome, but most things, almost no things are. But the reviews are still necessary because people are going to buy them regardless. Alright, so yeah, he looks pretty darn good. I don't really have any complaints about this. It could be a little bit cleaner here and there, but it's perfectly acceptable, so I'll go, for not having any shading other than the hair, 8 out of 10. I will say the eyes should be whiter than they are. The white parts, obviously. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. Now, as far as accessories go, you do get his sword, which is fine. And then you get 4 total faceplates, a decent spread. They're nicely done other than the eyes. You do get an okay spread of hands, nothing crazy, just it's not a whole lot, but you get them. Then you do get the alternate torso piece that lets him have his arm tucked into his shirt, which is pretty cool and pretty nicely done. No real complaints there. I think that's a fine accessory. The only problem is they didn't paint like the inside of his sleeve black or anything. It's just white, so it's a little obvious, and you have to try to hide that when you're looking at it if his hand's not in. If his hand is in there, then it's a little bit less noticeable, but it's still a thing they could have done, especially at a higher price point. So accessory-wise, I'm only going to go, I guess I could go 7, but I'm inclined to say 6 out of 10, even with that alternate torso piece, which isn't like a super fancy thing. It seems a bit sparse for the price point. Now, maybe, I told you guys this isn't going to be the case, but maybe the articulation will make up for all of that. And in some ways it kind of does. They didn't do too bad. His neck is on a ball peg, his head is on a double ball peg, so it does move around pretty well. That little bit of hair at the bottom is a separate piece, so it doesn't get in the way too much. He can move his head around pretty nicely given that he has a shirt collar there. Now for the shoulders, they didn't do any of the really crazy stuff that they've been doing on some of these other figure lines. It just moves around pretty well. It's not the best thing in the world, but yeah, it'll work. It is fine, and it doesn't look too bad doing it. I have no real complaints. They didn't over-engineer it to crap, so that's a good thing. The elbow, single-jointed elbow, not the best looking thing when it's straight or bent, but it's okay. It's a little bit better than 90. The thing I do like, though, is that they made this able to rotate. So it looks kind of weird, but also I think that's going to come in handy for some posing, because you don't want that to be hanging in one direction when it shouldn't be. So being able to rotate that is nice. I wish it was a little more seamless, but it's still decent. You get ball hinge wrists, that's pretty standard. This side, it functions basically the same, a little bit better because he doesn't have the baggy sleeve. But yeah, it's a decent shoulder setup. It works nicely, it works pretty organically, even though it's got that kidney bean shape. It's pretty good, it's acceptable. The butterfly joint is, like I said, it's acceptable. This one's double jointed, works nice. Like those arms overall. I think that's pretty good. Now, we have to talk about the thing that Bandai started doing on their Dragon Ball figures and it didn't work, and they've just continued to do it ever since. These overlays of fairly stiff plastic don't freaking work. They suck. Stop doing it. These are action figures that are supposed to pose. We've got a couple of joints in here for his torso that you can't use because we have this thing going over the whole thing. Like, you can wiggle it around a little bit inside there, but not really. And then the joint down at the bottom, it makes a big gap when you pose it. It's really, really poorly implemented. His torso does not pose well at all. Why would you stop doing these overlays? You can get in there if you hold the white part in place and get in there and try to just move the black. It'll move some, but not much. Not much. So yeah, this looks a little bit better, but we're not buying statues, Bandai. You make those. That's a different product line. These are action figures. Let them pose. And they don't pose very well. This one doesn't. And in some cases, it just looks really bad. Like when you rotate it, it looks poorly designed, and it is. Continuing that trend, we do have the bottom part where his legs are actually really nicely done, but his bottom part of his, I guess, robe is what you would call it. It's open on this side, so that's fine. But on this side, it overlaps nicely, so it looks good, but it doesn't flex that much. So this leg, his left leg, screen right, you're not really doing much with it. You can't because it's really thick up here, and it curves. So this leg isn't doing a whole lot. It'll pose some, but not a lot. And on this side, you get more range out of it. That's the one that they kept showing you, which is fine. But it's still, the way this is set up, it doesn't allow for much articulation, and it's a shame because he has pretty good legs. They're basically like the Sanji legs from One Piece. They work pretty well. Standard, it's like Dragon Ball style hips, double jointed knee. They're fine. Except they have nowhere to go. And then the ankles, they actually have pretty decent sized ball hinges, so they have decent range. You're going to get your ankle rocker there. And the toe hinge, is a good one. It's a really good one. It's nice and smooth. There's no giant gaps or anything. It's a little soft, like it's way too soft in some spots. Oh, it's gotten completely soft now. So there's no retention on that joint. Okay, forget it. Toe hinge sucks. Well sculpted, poorly implemented. That's unfortunate. So his articulation is adequate where it's functional and then terrible where it's not. So I'm going to say 5 out of 10. It's not great articulation. It's almost there. This arm works nicely. The neck is okay. This arm's okay. So if you want to just pose him from here up, well, no, from here out, then yeah, you'll be all right. And maybe the ankles, but it's just not well implemented. It's just not well implemented. It's super frustrating. Yeah, I'll say 5 out of 10 for his articulation. And now it's time for the final verdict on this guy. I just noticed this doesn't look that good at certain angles. His chest, at some angles it's fine, but at other angles the color's really off. And it's noticeably not great looking. Yeah, at this price point, no thanks. If this was a $50 figure, maybe. But I would say no. I would pass unless you're like really into Gintama and you need an action figure at this scale. It's not the worst thing they've ever made. It's just really underwhelming for the price. So if you can get it for a really good price or just don't care about the whelming factor, then you can't be underwhelmed and you'll be okay. But I'm going to give an overall rating of... I'm going to say 6 out of 10. It's getting lowered because of the price point. If it was cheap, it would be acceptable, it'd be fine. It's not impressive no matter what, unless it's like 20 bucks. But it's just not really there. It's good enough looking, and that's why it gets a 6. Is a 6 a passing score, like a 60%? I don't know. I was never anywhere near that, so I can't say. I don't know how that works. I should know, I used to be a teacher. Anyway, it's yeah, 6 is passing, right? Anyway, it's not that good, but if you really want it, you can, I'm sure, get by with it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, but that's it from me. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down, and if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day and thousands already on the channel, so make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.